Welcome to Gentle Yoga. I'm Shraddha. We're going to start our practice by finding a comfortable seat, or maybe you release onto your back, onto your belly. Really starting your practice by listening to what your body needs, right? Not allowing the mind to tell you what you need, but checking in with your body. So finding your way into whatever position feels good. And we take a moment to ground, to move inward. Maybe if it's comfortable, you close your eyes. And for the next 5 breaths, allow yourself to be the observer. Observer of your body and your breath. Not changing anything, just observing for now. Three more breaths right here. Observing what is here in this moment, in this body, in this breath, and yes, in this heart. And for the next few breaths, maybe you bring your right hand on top of your heart, softening any parts of the body that maybe feel a little bit tense this morning or this evening whenever you're practicing with us. And for the next few breaths, connecting with what is happening in our external world. Just allowing yourself to connect with what is happening in our external world. And then after the next few breaths, connect with your heart. Allowing yourself to feel your heart. Right? Dominant culture often tells us that we need to think our way through life. But this practice of yoga is very much about feeling. So feel the body. Notice what's happening in your heart in this moment. And if you, at any point throughout this practice, you start to feel overwhelmed by emotion as we connect what's happening with the external world and we connect with what's happening in our hearts at the same time, always use your breath and your body as a resource to keep you present, to keep you stable. Take 2 more breaths. We will use our practice today. Gently release your right hand, maybe open your eyes. We're going to root and ground by connecting with the root chakra, the base of the spine. As I often say, our yoga practice is not an escape from life, right? But our yoga practice can give us an opportunity to resource ourselves and to just take a pause to see how we are feeling about what's happening. So we will use the root chakra as a way to ground, as a way to move into a more stable, grounded place. So start by taking your arms out in front of you, clasp opposite elbows. And just start to massage your forearms as you move the hands up and down the forearms. Really grounding into your own body. Move the hands up towards the shoulders. And you're not just doing this, you're feeling it. How does it feel as you gently squeeze your forearms? Walking the hands all the way up the arms. One more time, relax your shoulders and your neck. Using your body as a resource to keep you grounded and present, and then release. Take a breath. Placing your least dominant hand right below the navel, the palm facing up, and then place your more dominant hand on top of the other hand. So both palms facing up. It's kind of creating a little cup right below the navel. And once again, if it is comfortable for you, soften your eyes. Feel the pelvic floor rooting and grounding into the earth, and at the same time, allow yourself to feel a lifting of your heart. So you're grounding the pelvic floor as you gently continue to lift your heart. 3 more breaths right here. Soften your shoulders. Grounding into the base of the spine. Balancing the energy in the root chakra. And taking the next few moments to align your body, your mind, and your heart. And with the next breath, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Gently bow towards your heart. Taking a moment to set an intention for your practice today. Keep lifting your heart as you keep grounding the pelvic floor. Connecting with your intention for this day, and more importantly, with how you will bring that to action. How you will make an impact with your intention. Keep your hands together in front of your heart, and then just gently start to round the back, tuck the chin. Coming into seated cat-cow with your hands in prayer position. Inhale, rock forward as you lift your heart, gentle arch in the back. Noticing how this feels. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. Inhale, gently lift your heart. A few more times, giving yourself that gentle reminder that this is a gentle practice. Using this time to come home, to connect with your true self, and also acknowledging maybe you are not connected to your true self, and you use your practice to come home to your true self, to reconnect. Last time, inhale, lift your heart. Gentle arching the back. And then neutral spine. Exhale, release the arms. Take a breath. I'm going to stretch the legs out in front and then take them into a V shape. I'm sitting at the edge of a blanket. Might do the same. Allow for a gentle. I guess the word of the day is gentle, huh? Allow for a micro bend at the knees. Lift your heart. Feel the pelvic floor grounding you. And maybe you extend out through the heels a little bit. Feel the pelvic floor grounding and your heart lifting. Try not to hold your breath. Take a few long, slow, sweet breaths. Now keep lifting your heart as you start to bow forward. Just looking for a gentle stretch on the inner thighs here. Micro bend in the knees. You could take your legs wider or bring them in more if needed. And you're always listening to your own body, right? Using the body and the breath as a resource. But in order to do that, we have to be present. We have to tune in to what's happening with the body and the breath. With the next breath, soften your legs. And for the next 6 breaths, just tune in to the sensations in your legs. Releasing any distractions as you keep coming back to the sensations in your legs. Three more breaths. Now move slower than your brain wants you to as you start to lift your heart, ground into the pelvic floor. Keep lifting your heart, grounding into the pelvic floor. Deep breath in and out. One more time. And we're going to cross the legs one more time. Lifting at the heart. Cupping the hands just below the navel as we did when we started. Left hand below the navel, right hand on top of the left. Soften your shoulder blades down the back. Feel the pelvic floor grounding. Coming to this place of stability, maybe even of ease. Reconnecting with your intention as you ground into this moment. Keep grounding as you start to float the hands up. Keeping them cupped as you gently float the hands towards your heart, towards your throat, and then eventually up towards the sky. Lift your heart, ground into the pelvic floor, and maybe you take the gaze up towards the sky. Moving very slowly as you start to float the arms gently towards the earth and behind you. There's no need to rush. You are exactly where you need to be in this moment. Lift your heart, ground into your fingertips, and ground into the pelvic floor once again. Feel your heart lifting as you ground into the pelvic floor. Maybe the gaze moves towards that space where the wall meets the ceiling. 3 breaths, grounding and lifting at the same time. And gently come out. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. Exhale, tilt to the left. Right shoulder releases. Keep lifting your heart, and once again, come back to the base of your spine. Switch sides. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, tilting to the right. Ground into the pelvic floor as you lift your heart. Last time on each side. Right arm up. Right arm gently tilts towards the left. Right shoulder blade releases down the back. Maybe you take your right thumb back a little bit. Ground into the pelvic floor as you take your right thumb back a little bit as you lift your heart. Switch sides. Last time on this side. Left arm up. Left arm tilts to the right. Take your left thumb back a little bit. Ground into the pelvic floor as you lift your heart. Gaze up or down, whatever feels best for you. But keep reaching back gently with that left thumb. Notice how that changes the stretch in your body. And exhale, release. 2 juicy breaths. One more time. So staying connected to the pelvic floor. We're going to come on to hands and knees, but hold on just a second. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what we're doing. And we've done this before, but we're going to take the arms out in front, palms facing forward, and reconnect with your root chakra. Reconnect with the base of the spine, the pelvic floor. Take your sweet time. No rushing. Notice all the sensations in the body, maybe noticing how they change as you start to tilt forward. Nice and slow. Stay connected to your root chakra, to the pelvic floor, making this movement from the pelvic floor as you come onto hands and knees. Cross the legs. Adjust your knees. Taking your knees nice and wide, toes pointing towards each other. I'm going to move my blanket here. Maybe the toes touch. Release the sit bones back towards the heels. Stretch your arms out in front. And again, if this does not feel good for your body, please modify. Always honoring your own body. So we're in extended child's pose, arms stretched out, forehead to the earth, knees open wide. There are many variations. One variation is just to keep your hips over your knees. So honoring your own body. Take 3 more breaths right here in extended child's pose. Gently lift your gaze, navel in towards the spine as you start to come on to hands and knees. Adjust your knees. We're going to come into toe stand or squat. Tuck your toes. Start to walk your hands in towards your knees. Press on to the hands as you lift your knees. And just notice how that feels for your toes. Right? Again, when we're trying to ground, when we're trying to feel stable, reconnecting with the feet can be a really nice thing to do. So I'm going to turn so you can see me. So, and then just start to sway side to side. And really you're tuning into your feet. And if you can't really feel them, maybe you take a moment and feel your foot one at a time as you gently sway. So let's sway over to the right. Bring your left hand under your left foot and just touch your foot. Attempting to move into a place where we feel more stable and more grounded. So working with the feet a little bit. Switch sides. So gently lifting the right heel and massaging the right foot. Notice how your right foot feels. and then come back. So depending on the day, right, your feet might release to the earth, and sometimes maybe that just isn't the case. You can reach for your blanket and place it under your heels, or you can actually sit on a block or a pillow and then bring your hands together in front of your heart. You can also just keep your hands on the earth, lifting the heels a little bit more. So again, adjusting so this feels good for you. And with the next few breaths, coming back to your pelvic floor as you lift your heart. And if this shape is totally a distraction for you, just sit down. It's okay. Reconnect with your pelvic floor. Take 3 more breaths. And maybe you allow yourself for a moment to connect with other cultures that still very much use this shape for like their daily living, right? Some women still give birth like this. Some people still eat their food like this. This is another way to allow us to feel connected with people, different parts of the world. Take 3 more breaths. Noticing how your legs possibly are beginning to feel this, or your hips. Moving once again from the pelvic floor. Take the arms out in front. Take your time. Take your time. Coming back onto your mat. Coming back onto your knees. And just move in and out of a few cat-cows. Exhale, rounding your back, tucking your chin, tucking your pelvis. Inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your heart, lifting your tailbone. Notice how this feels for your back, your spine, your neck, your hands, your arms. Remember, this is a feeling practice. If your mind is telling you you need to be moving faster, check in with your body. 2 more cat-cows. And then pause. Coming to a neutral position. Take the hands. Put a handprint forward from your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Press the pads of the fingers into the earth. Tuck your toes. Now we're going to come into downward facing dog, and if you know that just isn't your thing, maybe you continue with cat-cow, okay? So tuck your toes, lift your knees, take your hips back. We're not going to be here too long. Just start to walk your dog. Allow the head to release. I did a neti pot this morning, so my nose is a little runny this morning. Too much information, I know. Okay, keep walking your dog. And then eventually pause. Your knees are slightly bent. Tailbone is up towards the sky. Still engaging the pads of the fingers. Gently squeezing the arms together, releasing the head. Inner thighs towards the back. Now, how can you connect to your pelvic floor and your heart here? Can you allow for some lengthening between the base of the spine and the heart? Feel the sides of the body grow longer. 2 more breaths. And now gently adjust your feet so the toes are pointing inward just a little bit. And again, breathe into the legs. Notice how that feels. And then adjust your feet so they're forward once again. And then once again, release the right knee, release the left knee. I'm going to need a tissue. Take a few breaths here. I'm going to get a tissue while you take a few breaths. Okay. So with the next breath, come back onto hands and knees. We're going to tuck the toes and we're going to come into that squat one more time. Walk the hands in. Lift your knees. Keep your fingertips on the earth. And once again, just gently sway side to side. Maybe you come back to your feet. Right? Maybe this is something that you wouldn't normally do. Keep lifting your heart. And then pause in the middle. And let's reconnect with the pelvic floor. Reconnect with your heart. Maybe you kind of tap into the floor. Engage the muscles of your belly. Lift your heart, hands together in front of your heart. And for the next few breaths, reconnect with your intention. Releasing any thoughts that are getting in the way of your practice. Releasing any thoughts that are creating separation. Right, I find these days it's so easy to judge people around us. Come back to your true self, your true nature, which is one of love and light. Now we're going to attempt to come back onto the mat. Stay connected to your pelvic floor as you take your right hand back, your left hand back. And gently release your sit bones. Stretch your legs out. And just take a sweet pause right here. Notice how it feels to be you right now. I find that often those thoughts that cause separation might not be again between you and someone else, but you and your true self. That part of yourself that says, who do you think you are trying to do this? Or you can't do that. But come back to your true nature, to your light, to how you want to show up. 2 more breaths. And then we're going to release onto the back. You're like, what? We're going to release onto the back. This is a gentle class, so be kind with yourself. We're going to release onto the back. Maybe use your blanket to support your head. I'm going to bring my tissue. So you're on your back, getting there safely. Keep your feet on the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Let's get a little playful. Open your arms wide, but your arms are a little bit lower than your shoulders, palms facing down. Knees just above the hips. Flex your feet, and then start to sway the knees side to side. Take your time so you're pulling the navel in towards the spine. Exhale, knees to the left. Inhale, knees back to center. Exhale, knees to the right. You're not going all the way to the floor. Engaging the muscles of your belly. And you're noticing how it feels to move slowly, to move with purpose. And you're noticing your lower back coming back to grounding, stability, aligning with with your heart, with your body, with your breath. Keep going side to side. And yeah, if the body invites you to go deeper, meaning legs closer to the earth, then that's okay, but we don't force. We use the body and the breath as a resource to keep us present, to keep us healthy, to keep us connected. One more on each side. And then come into half happy baby. Release your left foot. Bring your right knee towards your right shoulder. Right arm on the inside of that right leg and just reach for that right shin. Allow that left knee to release out to the left a little bit and just take a few breaths right here. Stay right here, honoring your body, or bringing your right foot over your right knee, right hand on the outside of that right foot. 5 breaths. Come back to your pelvic floor, noticing the space between your pelvic floor and your precious heart. What's happening there? Gently take your right ankle to your left thigh. Open your arms wide, palms facing up. Extend out through your right heel. Gently massage your right thighs. Notice how your right thigh feels as you squeeze the upper right thigh. And then take 2 more breaths. Take your right hand through the legs. Right, so you can stay right here, or you can bring your left knee in towards the chest. Wrap the hands behind that left thigh. Try to keep your left knee aligned with your left hip. Lift your head. Release the head back down. Adjust your shoulders. Tune in to the pelvic floor, the lower back, the hips, grounding. With the next breath, soften the inside of your mouth. Remember, this is a feeling practice. Moving away, if even for a moment, from dominant culture that tells us we have to think our way through everything. Feel into this moment. With the next breath, release your left foot onto the mat, and then the right. Stretch the right leg all the way out, and then the left. Open your arms wide, palms facing up. Take another breath. Notice the pelvic floor. Notice your heart. Be the observer for another few breaths. Bring your right foot onto the mat, left foot onto the mat. Adjust your hips, your shoulders, your head. Left knee in towards the left shoulder. Left arm on the inside. Rest the hand on your left shin. Maybe that right knee moves out towards the right a little bit. And just notice what's happening to your body right here. What's happening in the body. As we keep coming back to the practice to help us realign with the heart, with the body, with the mind. Maybe you stack your left foot over your left knee, left hand on the outside of that left foot. Take a few breaths right here. And after the next few breaths, notice the pelvic floor. Notice your heart. Notice the space between the base of your spine and your heart. Deep breath in and out, always coming back to the breath. As one of my teachers used to say, if you're not breathing, it's not yoga. Gently, when it's time for you, left ankle to the right thigh. Massage your left thigh, not just to do it, but to really tune in to the sensations in your body as you massage that left thigh. Maybe you notice some parts of the body are tender. And then pause, stay right here as you extend out to that left heel, or maybe you take your left arm through the legs, right knee in towards the chest, wrap your hands behind the right thigh, right knee align with your right hip, soften your shoulders. Notice if any adjusting needs to happen, right? This is your practice. You are your best guide. Always listening to the wisdom of your body and of your heart. A few more breaths right here. Noticing the pelvic floor. Noticing your heart. Two more breaths. Gently release the right foot. Gently release the left foot. Arms alongside the body. Last shake before we move into Shavasana. Feet are on the mat. Coming into gentle pelvic tilts. As you inhale, tilt the pelvis so there's a gentle arch in your back. Imagine you're trying to let a little lizard make its way from one side of your body to the other through your lower back. As you exhale, gently flatten your back. Inhale, gently tilt so there's an arch in your back. Exhale, tilt the pelvis so the back is flat. Grounding into the base of your spine as you continue with this movement. Allowing yourself to feel what you feel in this moment. And if it becomes to feel overwhelming, tune back into the sensations of your breath, of your body. Maybe you open your eyes and you orient yourself to something in your room that's beautiful and calling your attention. You always have the choice to stay grounded as you feel, as you tune into what's happening. Last pelvic tilt. Stretch your right leg out. Stretch your left leg out. Lift your heart. Slide your shoulder blades down the back. Adjust your blanket or your pillow so it also supports your neck. Palms facing up, but arms slightly away from the torso. And then just start to make some gentle circles with your wrists. And really notice the sensations in your fingertips and in your wrists. Switch those circles in the other direction. Release the arms. Extend out through the heels. Imagine you're standing. Inhale, arms up and over the head. Notice the base of your spine. Notice your heart. Allowing everything to align. Exhale, release the arms alongside the body. Keep extending out through the heels. Last time. Inhale, arms up. Over the head. Exhale, release. Allowing the entire body to soften towards the earth. Softening your eyes if that is comfortable. Softening the legs, the belly, the heart. And as you start to release, maybe you say the following mantra to yourself. May I be well. May we be well. May I be well. May we be well. Softening into that mantra as you give yourself permission to rest. Letting the body rest, but staying connected to your mantra. May I be well. May we be well. Resting, trusting in yourself, trusting that I will guide you out of your Shavasana when it's time. Noticing your breath. Noticing if perhaps this practice that has focused on the pelvic floor and the root chakra has allowed you to move into a space where you feel more grounded, more stable. Gently bringing your feet onto the earth, turning to the right or left side of your body, and eventually finding your way into a comfortable seat. Bringing your hands together in Anjali Mudra, bowing towards your heart. And just as we started, ground into the pelvic floor, but feel your heart lift. And because this beautiful practice of yoga is a feeling practice, maybe the rest of this day you allow yourself to check in, to ask yourself, what's going on? How am I feeling about it? What resources do I need right now? What resources do I need to stay present? To not shut out what is happening, but to integrate that into the heart and to turn my intention into some type of action. Take a deep breath in and out. It has been an honor to guide you through your practice. The love and light in me always sees and loves the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I want to invite you to come to my restorative class that I'm hosting on Wednesday. It is all about radical self-love and how that is connected to collective care. So if you want more information about that, go to our website, and we hope to see you soon. Namaste, beautiful yogis.